Oilers power play dominant as ever. I think that's, we can breeze over that to get to the main meat and potatoes of this conversation. Reds Rebels asks, overreactions in the NHL after 10 games? That brings me to Connor McDavid's goal on Friday night, as he scored with 3 minutes left, his 8th of the season, in what has been deemed a goal of the year contender, if not the greatest goal of all time. Or you have someone like me who defines it as a great goal. Now, let me say this again to wrap up the talk about the Oilers. Look, they've won 9 out of 10 games of the season. That's the first time they've ever done that. They never won 9 out of 10 with Gretzky, Messier, but they've done it now. This goal for McDavid, I caught some flack on Twitter by saying I didn't know, or at least my initial reaction was that it wasn't this slam dunk goal of the year. The reason I say that is I'm streaming at the time, and all of a sudden chat blows up. Oh my God, this is an incredible goal. You got to see what Connor McDavid did. When people freak out that much about a Connor McDavid goal, I am legitimately expecting the best goal I've ever seen in my life. Because the bar is so high for an amazing Connor McDavid goal, because he is the best hockey player in the world. And in terms of freak NHL talents, yes, he is already in that conversation as maybe the best, in air quotes there, player of all time. Depends on your definition of stuff. Maybe the most talented, maybe not the best player. He's maybe the most talented. So I watch this goal, and the first thing I notice isn't so much that Connor McDavid went through 4 people, air quotes on that again. It's more so that 4 Rangers players fell asleep. The argument is always going to be, well, did they get caught because McDavid's acceleration is superhuman? It's a great goal. Am I too far towards the negative side? Maybe. Are some people who call it the best goal of all time being a little bit hyperbolic, perhaps? Or maybe it is. Maybe they're new and they've missed some of the great goals that have been scored over the years. Maybe it is the best goal they've ever seen. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, right? But my biggest takeaway from that play was that Kevin Rooney literally did nothing. I don't think that's due to the acceleration. So immediately for me, I'm like, well, he went through like 3 people tops. You had a poke check from the back. I don't know who it was from. One poke check that he was out of distance to get. So for me, it's more that Connor McDavid shredded Patrick Nemeth and Jacob Trouba. But it was almost an ESHL goal where Jacob Trouba poked the puck, but he poked it ahead, and Connor McDavid was the one to get it. So maybe Eichel's realistic. Maybe that's why I didn't think this was the best goal I'd ever seen. I still don't know. It's a great goal. It is probably a goal of the year contender. I just don't know if it's a slam dunk. Like, again, the bar is so high for McDavid. I talked about the crazy Mitch Marner goal from the last show against Vegas that I was stunned by. Like, that was a crazy goal. And maybe it's because, again, expectations for Marner, McDavid. I don't know, man. Your takes on this goal, because Sin called me a Debbie Downer in response, and you might not be wrong.
That was kind of funny.
You might not be wrong. I don't know. It's a great goal. I don't feel like I'm trying to be contrarian. I just didn't see it. My initial reaction wasn't holy shit. Like, I didn't jump out of my chair like other people were. I don't know.
Yeah, I got to disagree with you a little bit. I won't go ahead and say a greatest goal scored of all time, because that stuff needs to stop getting thrown around like that. In the same, it's starting to become like generational talent where we're throwing it around too much and it's starting to lose its meaning. Relax on that. It's a phenomenal goal. It has to be a goal of the year candidate for the sole purpose of, I will sort of, say that as someone who appreciates defense, as a defensive player, maybe they could have done more, such as play the body. But the fact is, McDavid is so fast and so slippery that if you try to put a body on him, you could kind of end up doing more harm than good at times. What they did was try to collapse around him and limit his time and space, which is sometimes the better option, while trying to stick check him. The fact is, 2 people, I mean, you mentioned the poke that Trouba got on the puck. There were 2 more that hit his stick as well, that he's able to kind of shrug off with his quick hands, the way he just will lift his stick, get back in the puck, lift the stick again, his hands are just so quick. Combine that with always moving his feet. That's why I think it's one of the better goals, because it's like yeah, they look like they're standing around, but I also think that's part of what McDavid brings to the table is that he does things so quick. And also, let's be honest, who the fuck is expecting him to go take on 4 Rangers all by himself, like out of nowhere? I think he even took them by surprise, which could kind of, have led to some of their, I don't know, indecision to play the body or try to, hit him or something like that. But the fact is, in my opinion, it's still incredible. His reaction afterwards also said he didn't know he was going to score, which to me is even more hilarious that he still was like, he's like, yeah, I got the puck. Oh, there's 4 guys over there. Yeah, I'm going to try to go through them all and put the puck in the back of the net. And to me, that's like the most insane part about him is that he doesn't his mind doesn't work the same as ours. I look forward, I see 4 white jerseys. I'm like, all right, let's, I don't know, wait for some support, dump and chase something. But he's just like, I'm going to do it. Like it's almost like it's a second nature thing. He just does it and he'll figure out when he gets there, and he's got the hands, he's got the speed, he's got the raw talent to do it. And I said it in a quote tweet. I'm like, we may very well be watching the most talented hockey player to ever lace up. And I really think we are. It's obviously different from best player alive. I think the most raw talent and pure skill out there is Connor McDavid. It's just absolutely insane. So yeah, I think it's a goal of the year contender. There's a lot of hockey left to play, so I'm not going to say pack it in goal of the year immediately. Like, we've seen some great ones already. We're still very early, but yeah, that to me was just absolutely insane. And as a defensive player, I think part of the reason you look like you're doing nothing is just because he's that good.
Endo.
Yeah, I think you need to get your prescription checked because that was a pretty good goal.
I was nice
of the
about
fucking
it.
Century. Goal of the century? No. One of the best goals of the season? Yeah, but it's been 10, 12 games. Not really anything extreme. That's a goal that you only see certain players get. Connor McDavid, maybe Kucherov, maybe even McKinnon. But that right there is a patented Connor McDavid moment. It may not go down as the goal of the year, but it's going to go down as one of his, if not already, top goals. Because he's just a human highlight reel, and I don't think it's the greatest goal ever scored, but I do think it's a very good goal.
Yeah, I think.
And now everyone go ratio Tougie some more.
Yeah, let's
right,
go.
pretty much. I mean, again, it's one of those things where my expectations for McDavid are maybe.
Yeah, and I kind of get that. For me, I saw the video immediately. I didn't get hyped up by Twitch, so you came into it with a different perspective, and I can kind of understand that.
I get the idea of probably only Connor McDavid could score that particular goal the way he did, right? The confidence to be I'm fucking going for it, and the speed and the hands to pull it off. Like I said, though, it's it was almost overhyped to me, and instead of had I just been watching the game and seen it in real time. So I do think that kind of skewed my my opinion there a little bit.
Just goes to show you guys, don't listen to Twitch chat. They're fucking morons.
Don't read chat. Don't listen to chat. Okay, I just looked it over right now because I was curious. So when he re-enters the zone, he catches Jacob Trouba off foot, completely because he tries to go forward. And he sees it coming in. And he gets caught flat-footed. Sorry. And then Poke comes in from the top guy on the right. Don't know who that is yet. Goes through. The one thing that McDavid does, and that a lot of kids are learning now when you stick handle, is that when you don't have to only control the puck, you can fuck around with Buddy's stick and send that stick flying if you really want to. That's one thing that I watched a lot of Pavel Barber, and that's a really good example for someone who's a master at stick handling and puck possession. He coaches that when you use your stick handling, you can use your stick to deflect the stick other way and stuff like that. And he does that a lot in some of his moves. I think over here he deflects the last defenseman's stick out of the way. Yeah, because he gets caught and he lifts it up and goes over.
That's what I was talking about. He's always constantly just flicking his wrists up to almost keep the puck moving, but also to avoid the stick checks or like you said, deflect them. It's like parrying in fucking For Honor.
Exactly. So he keeps it halfway. It's kind of halfway above the ice and halfway on the ice. So that way he's versatile in both manners. So if a guy tries to come in, he can easily just move their stick out of the way and then maybe use his angling on his skates to angle himself away with the puck as well.
I guess just the way I view it, 4-on-1, by definition, it's god-awful defense to allow a goal in that situation.
Well,
I get that it takes Connor McDavid doing what he did to have it result in a goal. It's both. It's a great McDavid goal, but it is also horrific defense.
Oh yeah.
And my brain immediately went to holy hell. Like, perfect example. If Endo and I are on defense, and randomly Sin's playing forward in Isho for some reason, Sin's the one forward up the ice, us other 4 are back. I put up 3 fingers for a second. If us other 4 are back, and we allow that goal, Sin turns off his Xbox and goes home because of bad defense. Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, yes. However, yeah, but that's also video. I don't know. Yeah, okay, I can see that perspective, but at the same time, yes, if a goal is scored on a 4-on-1 situation, that's usually bad defense, but I'll put an asterisk. However, if Connor McDavid is involved, you might have also just seen something special. So I do think there's a possibility of the combination, but I don't think anyone's scoring that goal. I think only Connor McDavid scoring that goal. Maybe McKinnon, but even then, I don't think he's got the same hands that McDavid does.
Yeah. Okay, I just looked back over. I was trying to figure out who number 17 was. Kevin Rooney was 2 inches away from Connor McDavid going through the ice. He was the guy on the right-hand side, right on top right. If he gave a single poke check or an effort, the whole play could have been done.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to blame Kevin Rooney.
I agree.
There you go. Because once I look it down, like if you look at it from like a glance, it's like, oh sweet, Connor McDavid goal. It's beautiful. It's amazing. I think look it down. One guy got caught flat-footed. That's on him. But your man is on the ice.
Is that on him though?
Is it on him?
If you're positioning 4-on-1 and McDavid on a split-second decision decides to come at you in full speed, that's not just on you for getting caught flat-footed. You're getting caught flat-footed because of the speed and the acceleration of someone cutting into the zone like that and trying to split 4 guys. So okay. So Kevin Rooney, he fucks up. He doesn't do anything. Again, you still beat 3 guys. Yeah. You can't blame it on Kevin Rooney when 3 other guys are there. So we can't say in one breath, oh, it's shitty defense, but then, you got to blame one guy.
I blame Kevin Rooney because of how close he was to Connor.
Right.
Like he's.
But I will say none of them bodied him.
Yeah, none of them.
Right. Okay. So my final point on this, right, is that it takes someone like Connor McDavid, best player in the world, to pull that off. But you can also look at the defense, and that's what I tend to focus on and say, okay, yes, part of it is you didn't get him because it's Connor McDavid, but the other part of it is, for the love of God, somebody chop him down, slash him, take a penalty, do anything other than what they did, essentially. It's a great goal. Is it a goal of the year contender? I think I've softened my stance. It is a goal of the year contender. Will it win goal of the year for a lot of people? Yes. Jury's still out for me. We'll see. It's fucking 10 games in.
I think in the playoffs they hack at him and then they don't get called. I think that goal doesn't happen in the playoffs because the way they don't call the rule book.
Dude, as it is, the standard of officiating, I saw this. I don't have the chart in front of me. As it is already, remember how hyper-vigilant referees were at the start of the season?
Dropping,
it's already nosedived in terms of how they're calling slashing and cross-checking and shit like that. We'll move on because again, this you see what this conversation is.
We could go back and forth forever on this. I know.
I will say, the idea that this goal can be debated this heavily does make it a great goal, bare minimum. Like bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you can converse as to whether or not, is it a great goal? Is it a goal of the year? Is it a all timer? Like
yeah, I literally
if we're dissecting something frame by frame, it's pretty fucking special.